What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite racing, fighting, and role-playing gaming Jackal Gadget here, and welcome to my first ever PlayStation 5 top, no, not top tier list, basically a countdown. So this is my top 20 Need for Speed Unbound cars. Now, keep in mind that I'm not doing the whole entire list. I'm actually going to do the new cars specifically. Now, there are a few ground rules I must explain. Only the new cars, and not to mention, I'm not doing a tier list for that matter. So, for the most part, if you want me to actually do a tier list, you probably have to comment down below what you want to actually see. So, not to mention, a lot of this gameplay is by yours truly. And and keep in mind, this is the last one. Last, certainly not least. There will be a video coming in next week, before the other video. So yeah, and also I'll be streaming some needs to be Unbound like around 6 o'clock. So it's 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, basically it is one of those cases where you actually had to like go ahead and do what you have to do in order to actually see what it is. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get started with the number 20 spot. I was actually disappointed the moment that this car came out. The Ford Crown Vic Victoria is one of those cars that you actually wanted to actually build in order to actually, have a good time with the vehicle. And heck, this car was actually one of the vehicles you can actually win in one of the weeks. So what's the problem with this car? Well, many things. And by many things I mean literally many things is wrong with this car. You can't use it in some way, shape, or form. It's not too competitive. Now, most people be like, okay, just bad game. No, that's not the reason why. The reason why I don't like this car is because, even though yes, it's customizable heavy. It's basically the Sound XP of Ford Crown Vics. But the problem with that car is the fact that the car itself does not have any way, shape, or form to make it fast. Now, yes, I actually like to make my cars fast, but at the same time, it's actually difficult to the fact that the only way to actually make the car, faster is if you turbo them, or you actually leave superchargers alone. Which I didn't do. I actually went with the Mark 1. Basically a upgraded Mark 1 type build for engine wise. But yeah, either way, it's actually one of those cases where it can be interesting to actually get into. At the same time, it is one of, if not one of the many cars I do wish we had something else. Though Crown Vic's not bad, I'm not gonna lie. But there are other candidates that can actually make it to another Need for Speed game. Like, don't get me wrong, Crown Vic is actually not bad. It reminds a lot of us of the Toyota Chaser, or a Mark II JZX90, or heck, even the JZX 110s for that matter. But yeah, either way, it's one of those cases where you had to like literally make the car fast before you can actually do anything else with it. And believe it or not, this is one of those cases where I actually do wish we had more cop stuff on the car. So basically, one of the upgrades, you can actually make this car to a literal cop car. Not cops. You can make this car to a literal cop car, and most people do not realize that they actually decided to not go with the Crown Vic for the police cars this time. Instead, we got Dodge Chargers, Ford Explorers, Chevy Camaros, and last but not least, a SWAT F-150 Raptor, which I'm do wonder why they actually add that to the list. But yeah, that all actually is pretty interesting. I actually do like it. The car itself is not bad. I actually just do wish that the car was faster. And not to mention, there's like more stuff to the car than just a whole body kit. Basically, a lift kit, full body kit, a lift kit, and a interceptor unit type body kit. So, yeah, time for number 19. Coming at number 18, we have, they did this car dirty, I kid you not. I'm wondering why they did it in the first place. It is Z1, the only 1981 M1. Now, this is actually a very interesting take on the vehicle because for those that do not know what the heck's an M1, this is basically, well, keep in mind, this is not the first M car. This is actually the first M car that is basically basically a collaboration between BMW and Lamborghini. Unfortunately, Lamborghini didn't sell any cars, so there are only a few examples of this vehicle, to say the least. But at the same time, it actually is, let's just say that this is actually one of my favorite pro cars can actually get in any sort of game, period. Though I actually do wish that they actually had this car as the cover car instead of the Mercedes 190E. But keep in mind, the 190E is Rocky's 190E, so I can't blame them for that. But dear Lord, I actually do wish that it was. And the only problem I have with this car is the fact the drive is not bad. That's all I can say. It's the fact that you have to unlock everything else before you can actually unlock this retro-esque type BMW that was only like a limited time, because these usually came with a 3.5 and 6 and supercharged. So it's time to move to number 18. Number 18 goes to the Lotus Emira, a newest addition to the Need for Speed series. Now, unlike the Crown Vic and the M1, the Emira is a really interesting take, because a lot of us thought we were getting the Evija, which is Lotus's 2,000 horsepower electric car, which, believe it or not, would have been the first ever electric car to be customizable in any racing game, period, that does not involve DSP Nitro. Please get that out of your heads. Anyways, the car itself is not bad. It actually reminds me more of the Lotus Evora than the Exige or Elise. And also keep in mind the Elise the Exige is actually in the game, so keep that in mind. Anyway, so for the most part, the car itself is not bad. Half the time, it's really good on handling. And other times, a lot of people just do not like this car because, for two reasons. For one, people want to get Evija, not its younger brother. And the second thing is that, figuratively and literally, this car is hard to control. Like, as seen from the gameplay, I can barely pull off drifts, I can barely turn, and not to mention the car itself is actually, it's customizable in a lot of ways. But some of those ways can be a little bit wrong, to say the least. But yeah, overall it actually is not bad. It's just that half the time you have to worry about how do you not want to crash the vehicle in the first place. But yeah, overall it's actually kind of cool that they actually add this car to the list. In fact, I used the majority of the cars in the Let's Play, and my goodness, how in the heck did they manage to do that in the first place is beyond me. So there's that. So yeah, it's one of those. But yeah, the cars themselves are not bad. Half the time is literally just like you can actually, and believe it or not, you can actually recreate the Avaya just by using one of the body kits. And not to mention you have the obviously has 300 kit, the next gen kit, and the carbon kit. I don't know to be completely honest, but basically, overall the car itself is actually not bad, but it could have been a lot better. So that's the reason why it's in this number 18 spot. Now it's time for number 17. Number 17 goes to the Mercedes-Benz 190E from 1988. Now, I'm not mad at the car, okay? The car itself is not bad. You can actually win A$AP Rocky's 190E in the story. It's the fact that in order to unlock the car in online is a different question entirely. So what do I do? Well, obviously you had to finish. I think it was like 20 to 30 races, in first or second. So literally, just do not finish third or less. That's basically how that works. And not to mention, oh dear God, I was wondering why it was so difficult to actually. Excuse me. Actually, in fact, I was wondering why it was so difficult to actually unlock this car. It's because, well, not a lot of us actually, there's not many people actually want to do A-class races. A lot of people want to do S or S plus. Is basically how that works. But hey, customization actually is pretty cool. Unfortunately, you can't recreate A$AP Rocky's 190E, which was pretty strange to say the least. But hey, it's his car. He does what he wants. Anyways, time with number 16. Number 16 goes to the 2019 Lamborghini Urus. The biggest thing that ever happened with this truck is the fact that it is actually one of the only Lamborghini trucks that have been successful throughout the years. The first one being the LM002, or aka the Rambo Lambo. So what is this truck's deal? This truck's deal is basically it's packing a 4-liter V8 twin turbocharged that makes as much power as a stock mid 2000s RS4. Yeah, it's not that bad. And keep in mind, this is a truck we're talking about here. This is a truck with all-wheel drive, a V8, and turbos. And the best part about this truck, you can legit customize the absolute mess out of it. In fact, this is actually one of those moments where the truck itself actually has more exclusive stuff than the Mustangs. I kid you not. The Mustangs, was a Ford specifically, had the RTR, the RTR brand, which makes it like around. Okay, that's number 15. Number 15 goes to the 2010 BMW M3 convertible. Now, this is actually, in my opinion, one of the wasted potential cars in the game, but dear lord, this car is fast. But yeah, keep in mind, the car is not bad to handle. It's just that, for the most part, a lot of us decided to, like, you know what, we're going to be doing this car justice by putting a whole huge bike kit on it and a huge wing and make it look as crazy as possible. Don't worry, this usually has how it works. Anyway, so the car itself is actually bare bones to say the least. A 4-liter V8 with Kim is also naturally aspirated, and yeah, it actually was one of those cars where you don't realize that there was a convertible version until you look it up. And keep in mind, this is actually the first time ever they have the M3 convertible in a Need for Speed game. or any game for that matter, because dear lord, why the heck have we been doing it? But yeah, it's actually one of those cases where it actually can work, but at the same time it cannot work. You just have to trust the process. And like I said, like the Crown Vic, there could have been a lot of better options, but hey, we need the convertible Beamer fans to be happy with us after the upset they have with the M4 convertible. So yeah, it's one to number 14. One convertible to another. This time is the 2018 Porsche 718 Boxer Spider. Now, this is actually one of those cases where they actually did a really good job of this car. Now, for the longest time, we haven't had anything new with the Porsche Cayman line. Basically, the Cayman GT4, the 718 Cayman, and the 718 Boxster, aka the same vehicle but a little bit more interesting. Now, what they had was they added a baby, I think it's called like the babyface variant of the vehicles per se. And not to mention they have a whole bunch of stuff for the coupes, but the thing is though is that the convertibles actually has more stuff. Believe it or not, yeah, the convertible has more stuff than the coupes model, which those are wondering, that weird looking spoiler that doesn't have anything in it. Well, that's part of a body kit to say the least. But except for this is actually a body kit that I literally just realized, like, oh wait, that's also a thing. And yeah, this is actually one of those moments where you can actually go with the half bumper type option, and yeah, not to mention that actually it's pretty interesting to say the least. Like you actually can look at the bodywork and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like look at the like Statue of Liberty or the Mona Lisa. It actually is beautiful hyping work from Porsche. So yeah, it's on to number 13. Coming in number 13, we have the 2019 Ford Mustang convertible. Now, this is actually one of those moments where a lot of us were confused because we didn't even have the Mustang convertible in the last game. So what did they actually choose? Well, it's not the fact that they chose the convertible model. They chose the convertible model of the newer variant of the Ford Mustang, specifically the STS 550 Mustang that is actually has the facelift model. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what kind of sense does this make? They added a Ford Mustang convertible and this 2019 model, not the 2015 model. Like, the skin line, when it comes to the 2015 one, it makes sense. But when it comes to like the 2019 one, it does not make sense because not only that, a lot of people are going for the newer Mustang, but they're also going to go for the convertible model because like, man, you know what, I'm going to suck it up, buy the convertible model instead of the coupe model, and dear Lord have mercy on my soul. But yeah, it was one of those cases where it doesn't make sense at the time, but then again, you get through it eventually, and it's pretty interesting. Now, in terms of the bike kit options wise, they still have the original bike kits from the 2015 Mustang, but they actually have some new stuff here. So yeah, and not to mention, you can actually mix some RTR stuff with that, which Keep in mind that actually is not bad. A lot of people would prefer to do that instead of just, oh yeah, here's a whole RTR kit and a huge thing of a wing that's attached to the fenders. Yeah, that's right. The wing is legit attached to those freaking fenders. So yeah, that's probably what it is. Well, here's the thing. The car's not bad. It's just that it kind of carried a little bit of basically TLDR. It actually carries a whole lot of missed potential. So yeah, it is one of those cases where you have to actually work your way into the Ford Mustang before you can actually do anything else. But yeah, now in online I have both variants. Not both variants, but I have one of the variants, which is still the convertible model. But the convertible model is actually a little bit different from the one in the story mode, where the story mode is full speed hunters, the other one is full RTR. Anyways, it's time on to number 12. Coming in number 12, we have the 2011 Mazda RX-8 Spirit R. Now, we have been waiting years for, and I mean years, like we're talking literal years of actually counting down the moment where we actually finally have an RX-8 in the Need for Speed game, because they haven't had one in years. Like the last time we have the RX-8 in a Need for Speed game was Need for Speed Shift 2. No. The last game that actually had this was Need for Speed. I have to say Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012, but for me it would have to be the Need for Speed Shift 2 Unleashed from the PS3, which is when we had our last RX-8 model, along with two variants of it, the regular one and a Mad Max variant. But now, since the RX-8 has returned, and not to mention it didn't come alone, it actually came with a few kits, so it's not bad. It came with a Vertex kit, a Rocket Bunny kit, and a Speed Hunters kit. Guess which one is actually the most popular? Easy guess Rocket Bunny, you're absolutely correct. Easy guess Vertex, you're absolutely correct. Easy guess the Speed Hunters, well, not that much, because half the time people were just like, why would people want to do Speed Hunter stuff on the car? Well, don't blame me, blame the other people that actually made this kit, basically. But yeah, the car is not bad. I actually use this car in online races as well. It's a slow start. It actually kind of works in my favor because half the time you actually want to do these vehicles, and the other time you want to do an RX-8. It just depends on your personal taste. So yeah, for the most part, actually it's not that bad. And dear Lord, you wondering how many people have recreated two of the most famous RX-8s in media? And no, I'm not talking about the Brad Bunny from Khalid Davis's channel. No, we're talking Mias's RX-8 and the RX-8 from another RX-8 from East Most Wanted, which is Izzy's. So yeah, the car itself is pretty interesting, but you guys must know which one is the most infamous of them all. Oh, it's easily Yumi's RX-8 from Need for Speed Carbon. Like, a lot of people didn't bother making basically making cars from Carbon. Like I kind of get it because DB11 is not a DB9, but they have the Dodge Charger, they have the RX-8, they have the RX-7. So what the heck is the problem? And oh dear God, don't get me started on the Static Deck R8s. Oh wait, there are no R8, there are no R8s in this game. Rip. But yeah, car itself I actually do kind of like. Like, you know, this is actually one of my friends' dream cars, basically, an RX-8. I don't know, I didn't know why, but I think it's because of the backs, I think it's the suicide doors. Yeah, RX-8 suicide doors, y'all, so there's, oh god. But, yeah, it actually is one of those cases where it can be interesting, but at the same time, it can actually be intriguing. But, at the time, it's usually is well, for one, it actually is a vehicle that you have to get used to. Like, keep in mind, when I first started doing the playthrough of Need for Speed Unbound, I was struggling. Like we're talking, I haven't played this game along yet, and yet I had made so many mistakes. Excuse me. And dear Lord, what the heck is going on? But yeah, it's one of those cases where you have to get used to what you're getting used to. So, yeah, let's move on to number 11. Let's hunt this asshole down! Then number 11, we have the 2023 Nissan Z. I know you're gonna say, whoa, how dare you put the new Z above the RX-8? That car is not even JDM. In fact, where the heck's the rest of the JDM cars? Calm yourselves. The reason why I have the RX-8 below the Z is because the Z is cooler. Yeah, the funny thing is, the Z, in my opinion, is a little bit cooler than an RX-8. But keep in mind, a lot of people like the rotary boys. So, RX-7 FDs, RX-7 FDs, RX-7 SAs, Cosmos, RX-8. If the vehicle has a rotary, they're going to defend it till the end. And not to mention, I actually do like the styling for the Nissan Z's and the Nissan Z in this game. Heck, we were driven a custom one when we actually started the game. So yeah, many people are like, oh yeah, no, that's not a problem. It's like, okay, it's not a problem, but what is it? But yeah, I actually did kind of like it. It was pretty interesting to say the least. So most people will be like, man, we must just buy a Q60. Excuse me. And what I say to those people, why would I want to waste money on an Infiniti when I can have the Nissan? And yes, I know the VR30 DDT is actually from the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport, but hey, if it works, it works. And to me, the car freaking works. So yeah, not to mention, customization actually is pretty insane for a car that came out this year. And no, not like a 2022 Nissan Z. Like, we're talking basically released Nissan Z from 2023. And the best part about this car, you can actually get this car from the customs, from the custom variants. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's talk to the next one. Alright guys, that'll be it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Leave a live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next. You can follow me on Instagram at GodTraders, at GodTrader _ You can follow me on Twitter at G27S. You can check out and join my Discord at GodTradersZM. But due to the fact that Discord has been really acting up lately, I may not be able to do anything about it until it's fixed. And last but not least, you can actually check out my Twitch at GodTrader. And last but certainly not least, like I said, later today I will be streaming some Need for Speed Unbound. I can actually stream some Gran Turismo again, so there's that. And yeah, I think I actually probably am addicted to actually Gran Turismo now because it looks like the engine cells are freaking buyable now. It's like, oh wait a minute, you can actually buy these cars. Holy crap! Okay, but yeah, nonetheless, actually, it's pretty interesting. But then again, half the time the cars themselves are pretty cool to say the least. And so with that out of the way, I hope you guys have a dope Sunday. This got to sign out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.